maybe like 30, 40 minutes, whatever happens. So your name is Vinayak. Thank you for being part of the project.
Thank you.
And you are from Noida, India?
Yeah, New Delhi.
Okay. So does it?
I mean, Noida is like, yeah, it's kind of like on the outskirts of New Delhi.
Okay. So it's like
You can just say New Delhi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you grew up there and went to uni as well, no? There, over there?
No, I grew up there. I finished high school, and then I came here.
So you did university here?
Yeah, I studied music here.
Okay, and why study music
Wait,
here?
is it going on?
Yeah, it's already starting. No,
I thought you were like prepping up.
No. It's we're just gonna roll from this.
Okay, sure.
yeah,
right.
Just totally YOLO, man. So it's just like a chill. It's not about staging or something. Just like a behind the scenes, just chatting, you know. So I'm just like wondering why you were doing uni here instead of back home for music. Where's your inspiration to go abroad?
Yeah, so just to try out a new culture and like grow out of my comfort zone a bit. Yeah. And I think Berlin is like really good for art. And I also kind of wanted to explore, you know, like unique kind of music and stuff. So I wanted to also find my own voice. So I thought that moving there might be a good idea.
Yeah. So you think New Delhi is less how do I say international in terms of students as well? Like because I would imagine there's other countries coming over there to study as well, or
definitely, but I think Berlin is
okay. You can you cannot top Berlin, right? It's pretty the one person I met yesterday was also from Poland or something. Like, you know, there's a lot of internationals here for sure. So when does your interest for like art, music, when does it start?
It started, I think, in the late teens, mid-teens, whatever, like 14 or 15. And I kind of got into making music on the computer. So I got a DAW and I started composing there. And without, you know, any much skills or theoretical knowledge about music, it was very instinctual. But then I got serious about it and I, you know, started working on the craft of it.
So is anyone in your family into art, music? Like,
not really.
Is there anything or friends or like, or does it just come from the inside? You're just like, I want to do some music. It was just coming from the inside, you think?
Well, when I started, then in my friend circle there was a bit of hype going on about making electronic music.
Okay, what year is that? How many years ago was that? Is it like the beginning of techno or a bit later?
It was when EDM was a thing, like DJs and EDM was a thing.
Yeah, amazing. So and when are you like thinking about getting out of the technology music, and you play guitar, right, as well?
Yeah.
So like, when do you start having interest for more classic acoustic versions of music?
So it was basically like an evolution for me, and you know, like, I mean, I don't want to sound pretentious, but
no, you can sound whatever you want, man.
When you are, you know, young, when you are a kid, you play with toys.
Yeah.
When you grow up a bit, you kind of grow out of those toys and you have interest in other things, you know. So it was like this, you know, it got my interest in music, but then I quickly expanded and evolved, and my tastes were getting more complex and stuff.
Yeah. So you're like evolving in the interest, and it's like, okay, I started with this, I just played, and then it's like, oh, this is more serious for me as well.
And it happens today as well, you know. Yeah, you know, I'm listening to different kinds of music, and then in 6 months or an year, like of course my horizons are going to expand, and the music which I make will definitely be different than what I'm making today.
yeah, you enjoy different things and stuff like that, right? And did you learn an instrument back in India before coming here, or was that when you came over here? When did you start learning your first instrument?
I picked up a guitar, I think, was my first instrument. And then slowly I also began playing some keys on my own. I took some lessons here and there, as far as I remember, in India as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then I started writing my own songs and also learned how to sing. I was taking classes for singing as well.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, I like your parents, are they supportive of you doing that, or are they like, do something normal, do get a real career or something, you know? Or
yeah.
How is the situation like, and the maybe motivation also for you going through this process from your family and friends?
Yeah, so it's the classic issue for artists, like how to convince the parents. I was really lucky because my parents are quite progressive, and they also believe in like different ways of living life, and they're quite open about it, and they also like fully trust in me and my capabilities. So I was really lucky, and they're supporting me even today.
Amazing, man. Yeah, that helps a lot, I think. I mean, I think it's hard. It would be really hard to go through that, moving to a different place, and you having this memory that your parents are not so happy about what you're doing, right?
It's a big relief.
Yeah, for sure. It gives a different way of freedom, I think, for sure, if they are supportive. And do you have siblings? Do you have siblings?
I have a younger brother, and I have a joint family actually. So also my uncle lives with me, and they have two. But I have only one real young brother. He's not into music.
Okay.
I'm trying to think like what is he?
Is he artistic in some way, or do you see any sparks of him where he's like exploring art maybe and inspired by it?
Yeah, I don't really remember anything. Like he was definitely into some kind of drawing and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a common.
Yeah, but not really. I think just for fun, maybe here and there.
Yeah,
nothing serious.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, art is about fun, right? So maybe he's not aware of how artistic. Maybe he will be more in the future, right? And is there anyone you are looking up to, like in perspectives of like idols when growing up in India, where you're like amazed by this beautiful guitarist or whatever? Is there anyone where you were like, wow, I want to be like that? Is there any idol in your life?
When I was in India, like one of the artists or bands which like really caught my attention growing up was Radiohead. And I was just, like when I was listening to this music, I was just blown away, like how beautiful it is. And also about the lead singer, songwriter, Tom York. And I was like really amazed by his, personality and like how quirky and, weird he was still like writing this beautiful music. And also the craft of it, I was really amazed by it, like he can do like so much. And then we have Johnny Greenwood, who's this crazy, amazing musician. And like, just seeing the evolution of these guys, like from what they started and how they evolved and how much deeper the music got over the years. So I was trying to, emulate these kind of artists. Yeah, no, that's great. And studying this kind of music. Yeah, that's really good. And studying music, I have no idea what that means, man. What does it mean to go from India to Berlin and then study music? What does that not just uni-wise mean, but also life-wise? Like how is studying music? So like I think a lot of people have this not an issue, but they have this confusion that if I go to music school, then I'm gonna become good. Yeah, like that's it. Just enroll yourself in a course, and then you're gonna get good. I think I had this clear up from the beginning. Like, I'm just enrolling in a school. I still have to, do my own work and study on myself and work on my own. So like the way I approached school, music school, was, hey, I do my own thing, and I work on myself. I study on my own, and then I have these amazing teachers with vast knowledge about styles and techniques and tools. And then I go up to them, and they can give me new ideas,
Yeah.
And when I'm stuck, I go to them. They can, give me maybe some new thoughts. And so it was a bit, self-study with some help.
And do you learn in studying music? Do you learn about like inspiration, or is it just like a lot of technical tools, like you said? Is there like classes where they tell you how to find inspiration, how to uh, communicate emotions in songs? Is there something like that teaches you that, or is it just something they don't give a shit about?
This is actually like a big thing which I think is lacking in musical education. And I mean, that's why, you have so many people coming out of school with just a flawless technique and, knowledge about harmony, music and stuff. And they still cannot write very good music, because I think like these things are not spoken about enough. Like when you're sitting in the room and you are trying to compose, what's your mindset? How do you approach the space there? And, like thinking about how to think out of the box, and also like there's a compositional mindset, which is different from when you're acquiring the musical theory knowledge and technique. Like it kind of has to be, in the subconscious. And when you're composing, you're thinking in a different way, you're not thinking like really.
Do you think
technically?
Yeah. Do you think I'm really interested in this too, because I feel like I don't have a musical ear at all. You can give me a bit, I barely get it. So I'm really interested in if you think that what is more important, having this personal emotional interest in music, or the tools? Like which one? Like if I have the emotional aspect and I don't give a shit about learning the tools, am I gonna be more appealing to others, or is it easier to be appealing to others when you know the tools but maybe not so much the emotions? What do you think?
Well, there are different kinds of musicians and different kinds of music. Some are when we talk about tools, different kinds of music have different things to focus on, right?
Yeah, of course.
So if I'm a folk singer-songwriter like Bob Dylan, I don't think like he has to know about all the extensions on a dominant chord, for example.
Okay.
I think he's just fine with, a few chords.
Yeah.
And
that's just
amazing, introspective and groundbreaking political lyrics about which reflect the society of that time.
Yeah.
I think that's what but then, like this genre also evolved. Then you have people like Joni Mitchell, and they are experimenting with alternate tunings on the guitar, and there's really amazing sophisticated harmonic thing going on, and still having these profound lyrics.
Yeah, so it's a lot of I feel like music is a lot, or art in general, about experimenting and just seeing what comes out of it, right?
But just to clear it up and to finish myself, I think like a lot of people say that don't worry about the craft, just worry about your personal voice and emotions and stuff. I think if you learn the craft, whatever it is for your kind of music, it really helps you to bring out these emotions.
Totally, I think so too. I think there is this misconception, like you are saying, that that's why I was asking, do you think the emotions or the tools are more important? Because why not have a bit of both, or be super good on the tools and bring us a few emotions? Maybe that works as well for the kind of art one person's creating, and vice versa, right?
They go both hand in hand.
Yeah, totally.
For me.
I think that's true. I was so you are a musician and you also compose or
Yeah, I write my own music. They are, you can call them songs.
Yeah, I had a sneak peek from your Instagram as well,
Okay.
where I could hear. I would call it a song. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? So where do you get do you get inspiration, or does it just happen, or how do you come up with this feeling of wanting to make a song?
And so for me, it's kind of a daily ritual, you know.
Yep.
So every day I'm trying to write something or finish something, you know. And so for me, it's like a daily habit. Kind of, in the beginning, it was definitely a bit more, you know, you get motivated and then you sit down to write.
Then you're like, oh, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, you know,
yeah.
Professionally not sustainable. Like you have to, and when you're working with other people, you know, and you've got like recording days and stuff, like you cannot rely on inspiration.
Yeah.
Every day, you know, it's like a routine.
Yeah, for sure. And
like you do your chores, you know, it's like a job. You sit down and write.
Yeah. And you, what do you do when you don't feel inspired or motivated? Do you just do it? No, just put a switch up here, or how's your creative process with that?
So for me, like there are a couple of things like I have to work on. Yeah. So one is definitely like writing and sharpening those skills. And then also I have to work on my vocals a lot. Like it's kind of the main thing for me currently. And then I also got like guitar and keys. So, you know, practicing those things as well. And so I kind of, you know, rotate when.
I see.
And it depends on the priorities for now, you know. So like there was, I think, a time, I think 1 year ago or something, I was really focusing on keys and really trying to find how can I use it to write more, you know, intricate kind of accompaniments which are not just playing chords and sing. So I was trying to explore a lot of that. And there was a moment where I was experimenting a lot with guitar sounds and pedals.
I see. So it's like when you practice the guitar for some time and then you don't have the flow as much anymore. Maybe you try something new and then you get back into it. I see. That's practical. That's really good.
But for me, it just, you know, comes down to like trying to make music in different ways and to explore different ways.
Yeah. Exploring and inspiration, and when I'm looking at your Instagram post, I think about the word nostalgia. Do you feel like your work is inspired by some nostalgic feeling from your childhood?
Could be, not that I'm aware of. But like nostalgic, I don't really know, but I try.
Like you have posts where you talk about like the present, the past, and how it, like this dreaming about something you enjoyed so much in a moment from the past. That's kind of what I mean. Is that some inspiration you use to create?
Maybe subconsciously. Yeah. I'm not aware of it, but I definitely have I would say a darker sound to my music. It's more introspective, sure. And, I think.
And your title Alien as well, right? I mean, that could, for me, when I hear Alien, it's more a bit of a mysterious, dark. For some, maybe it might be a unicorn. I don't know, but for me, an alien is a bit more mysterious. How do you? Why is it more dark? Why is it mysterious?
Oh, it's about a girl who just feels like she doesn't fit in the society and the ways of thinking of, you know, normal people. Yeah. And so, you know, she has a different view of the world, and therefore she feels like an alien in this world. Oh, I see. That's the backstory of the song.
Amazing. And So your parents are supportive. You are here. What is your next sort of destination? Not necessarily goal, but like what are you currently wanting to do or doing?
So right now I have a lot of music written, which I want to record.
Okay.
So people have something to listen to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm trying to perform also like shows,
Yeah,
doing solo shows, also playing open mics a lot. And there might be a few, more polished, serious shows with a band and stuff, with other musicians coming up in a couple of months, I think.
Are you currently in a band or you're just on your own at the moment?
No, I'm solo, but I
jump in,
work with people, so right now I'm recording some songs and I'm working with a few other people who also play and help me produce and record. I think it's really, really important to also get other perspectives,
Yeah.
And they definitely these are really good musicians and they bring a lot to the table for me.
Yeah, there's and do you feel like how is the collaboration with them? Is it like you're really trying to get your version, like how you see the song, or are you like open to them being like, hey, I feel like this could sound better, let's just do it like this? Or how is this if you are a bit more open to it, like how does it feel to give away a part of something you have created?
Yeah, so
because I think that for me it would be a big mindset thing, but also it could be super beautiful, I think.
Yeah. So there's always, a bit of compromise going on from every individual who is part of a project. And for me, it's like the stuff which I really know, which is really my domain. I take lead of that, and the
that
stuff
makes sense, I think,
which I'm not so sure about, I try to let go of it a bit and try to, give away. What do you think, And if, we try to arrive at a balance where I'm also like not totally against it and they're also happy. So, but I try to be, that's how I work it. Like I try to be aware of like what's, really not my domain.
Yeah.
Like, mixing
it's still your song somewhat.
Mixing it and mastering is not my domain at all, and I don't think that I should be giving advice to
no, okay. No, I was more thinking in terms of like the total vibe of the song and the feeling, like because you are somewhat maybe giving away a bit of it, but as long as it sounds good for you, I guess that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. So this one song I'm producing now, and the demo which I brought to them, and now what is coming now, it's totally different.
How do you feel about that?
I feel very good about this one, and the ideas that they brought, they really resonated with me. So that's, I think, important because they are like good musicians and good arrangers.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It feels like you didn't even. It feels like you wrote it, blah blah blah, and someone else brought something to it, and you were like, whoa, this is like. There's way more to this song than I thought about. Actually.
Sure.
And I think that's beautiful about like collaborating with other people, right? Last about like your music, how do you feel? Do you feel different connected between live performing and now recording? Like where is there a different creative aspect to it, you think? Or
definitely.
Like how so? Like is it the smiles of the people in the bar or that makes you feel more seen, or what
are you talking about like how
live music and recording and working like on your own on things?
So like how I approach music live and in the studio is
how you approach it, how you feel, what you prefer as well, like in general.
Okay, yeah, sure. So there are different musicians who approach this differently. And I know like some bands they just rehearse as a band. They go to the studio, they record it as it is. Maybe a few overdubs, here and there, and then they go perform it live as it is. And I think that's really raw and authentic. It's very cool. Like for me, I approach it a bit differently, which, which really the Beatles started this thing with using the studio as an instrument.
Yeah. Yeah, totally different world, right?
Yeah. And like the song which I'm currently recording, it's to replicate the studio version of it live.
Okay.
It's doable, but it's really difficult.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe especially if everyone that like now works in music is very focused on making studio versions, and they all of a sudden have to make a live version or raw version, right? It's like, well, wait, I have to ask my grandpa about how to do that, maybe, right? And do you feel what's more fun for you?
Both are fun, honestly. I love both. Like being in the studio and with other people and brainstorming ideas, and improvising, jamming a bit, and trying to come up with parts, and together with people. I think it's really fun. I enjoy it. I love it, and it's also like really comfy too. It's stressful, but it's really comfy and relaxing for me as well.
Is there less pressure, maybe a bit, or?
Yeah, it's a different kind of pressure. It's the pressure is mostly, okay, I have today, I have 10 hours or something.
Yeah.
And, I have a couple of things I really want to finish today.
Yeah, there's like no immediate feedback as well, right?
Yeah, from other people. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. But you're not like getting booed out, is what I'm thinking, right?
Oh yeah.
It's not like they're gonna throw something at you or like.
I mean, you have to be like really shitty. Sorry.
Yeah. You really need to be.
Or do something like outrageous. Like I don't think I'm doing any of it right now. But live is really fun for me because it's more about really like showing yourself and expressing yourself in front of people who are there to listen to your music and watch you. And also like how I really like doing stuff on the stage,
like performing, dancing, like or what do you mean?
Yeah, performing and trying to be like some kind of persona and trying to express myself
like an entertainer, really. Like, more than just playing and then leaving again. Delivering an experience for people.
Making a show, like a real show.
I think that's. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a live performance, right?
Also visually.
Yeah. Okay. How so?
Well, the way you dress, first of all. I think it's really important, and also.
I mean that's what people remember, right? If the
dynamic between musicians.
Of course, if there's
everybody's like, I mean, it's not wrong, but everybody has a sheet in front of them, and they're like, sticking to the sheet and just reading and playing like this. It's difficult to have some kind of dynamic. You can have a sheet, of course, like some music requires it.
But you're trying to interact with the other musicians, and
but when you you're chelling and playing with each other. And you're doing stuff, maybe I go to the guitarist and I like do something with him together.
It's real. It's
looking at the drummer.
Yeah, I feel like you have a good approach because I maybe some people are scared. They're like, oh, I have to stick to this. What if I do a small mistake? But maybe doing that small mistake makes it so unique or even more emotional for people listening, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, also like from my kind of music, like I really have to rehearse like everything and make it like that we have as little mistakes as possible because like I have some like a lot of odd time signatures and stuff going on.
Okay.
So like odd meters and stuff, also polymetric stuff, and if somebody messes up, like the whole song can collapse very easily. Okay. But some songs definitely like you can be very free, and really, and for some songs like you really have to try to forget everything and be really free. Otherwise, it doesn't sound convincing.
I see. Okay, awesome. So let's get to. I have. Actually, I have one thing. You wrote under a post because I was trying to find stuff about you, but there was not a lot actually. For what I could find. But you wrote under somewhere, when nothing works, smile. And I don't know how old that is.
That's really old. But I don't recommend that.
But you don't recall it, but I found it and I was like, yeah, I like that. And I was gonna ask you if now I'm saying it, do you still think that resonates with you? Not at all.
No.
Awesome.
It was a cringe teenager kind of quote.
Do you think it still works though?
Smiling? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I also don't recommend this cliche kind of putting yourself out there, always smiling and being happy and positive.
Yeah, sometimes it's just not maybe
toxic.
Yeah.
I also think I think you can be normal and try to be authentic. You don't have to be a jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, but you also don't have to pretend totally on drugs or something super happy, right?
I think,
be you.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of beauty in someone who is just living life with their own challenges.
Yeah.
And trying to just live with it, and
so same
they have some darkness, and they have some
just raw, like you said with your music as well. You like when it's not too processed, maybe, or too artificial. Okay, and I have 3 questions I ask pretty much everyone.
Sure.
And the first one is emotionally, but also a bit if you want to think about it for a second. What does art in general, not just music in general, mean to you? Art in general.
Yeah. So, well, I'm gonna tie it also with creativity. I think they go hand in hand. For me, one word which is really important, and I think no one talks about it a lot these days, but I don't know why. It's really innovation. I think if you decide to become an artist, you should really try to innovate in some way, and try to bring something new to the table. Why would you want to replicate something which has already been done? I don't think that's creative at all. And yeah, that's one thing. And again, with expression, you try to express the most, the deepest and the most vulnerable side of yours.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important. It takes courage.
So art for you is innovating or expressing something new at the dinner table, pretty much. So not the dinner table as a place for as this art space in this world. Yeah,
and also developing a sense for aesthetics and beauty. I think that's really important. It has to be beautiful, I think.
And if you consider that, the second question is, what makes someone an artist? When can you call someone an artist?
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that, because these days everybody can call themselves artists, but we have to see how many of them actually are.
Well, what do you think an artist is then? Not necessarily what does he have to do or be. When do you think is there a timeline when someone becomes an artist, or is an artist born? Does it develop over time? You had this interest through your friends, and then at what point did you call yourself an artist, for example? If you had to think about that, do you still struggle doing that?
I mean, well, anybody who's making into some kind of artistic activities, I think they are allowed to call themselves artists, but so, there's definitely a spectrum of it,
what they have to actively publish stuff or try to exhibition.
But that's we're talking now professional artists, and like someone who does it for fun. I think you can still be an artist and do it as a side quest, and do it as a hobby.
And do you think there it's just as necessary to innovate as well? If you're just doing it, like if I'm just drawing flowers at home, do I need to try to innovate or have a new style or approach for it to be art, do you think?
I mean, depends what you find fun. I just think that trying to come up with something new and innovative, I think it's really natural as human beings. Like we are always trying to innovate. If you look at the history of mankind, there's
and
there's never something. There's never been a movement against innovation. Like it's just natural. So I think like you should like if you're trying to do it in a natural way, I think you will innovate, and you will have the urge to come up with something new.
So okay, I see. But if I had to define what you're saying, maybe I can say something like to be an artist is to bring new things into the world from a different perspective. Maybe something in that world, or
that's one aspect, definitely. And I'm really stressing on beauty. Like I cannot stress enough. It has to be beautiful at the end of the day.
Is that subjective or objective, you think?
Well, I think people can have taste, and I respect that. I do, however, think there's some objectivity to it.
So there's something that just work.
I mean, there are some,
in sense of the tools, for example, in music that just all maybe some song or the harmony just always sounds right if you play the right tones or something, right?
That's about like
with pictures, there's this you can expose a picture correctly, but it might not evoke as much emotions as if it's too bright in the sky or something. But that's where the artistic freedom somewhat comes in, right? So
no, I'm not saying like there's like a
technical
right way of doing something. I'm totally against it, actually.
Yeah,
I do feel like if somebody tells you, this is right and this is wrong, just run away. Like it's never that way. It's always about context and what works in this context and what doesn't work in this context.
Okay, so as long as it,
I was talking like I can give you an example.
Yeah. Please.
I mean, we were talking about Beatles a lot, right?
Go ahead.
This one song, I mean, there are so many songs like from them, but there's one song, "She's Leaving Home," from Sgt. Pepper's record. I think that's like objectively amazingly beautiful work of art.
Okay.
And you can have problems with it, like you can, but that's your own personal. I really feel like that's your own personal taste, and
I see what you. Yeah, there's some things that just, even if you're not a huge fan of them, you can still appreciate it and be like, okay, this is.
Yeah.
I see how this is good,
and I think that's what's important. Like there's also a lot of music which I just don't get. Really not into, and I can still appreciate it.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I think many people have that somewhat with very classic music or orchestras, right? Where they're I mean, for me, it's like that's something my grandparents listen to, right? But I still understand it, I see how there's a balance and there's a dramatic setting, and it makes sense. Right? But I don't have to be a huge fan of it. I think that's
totally.
That's a great view. And last but not least, the last question, you can maybe spend a couple seconds about thinking, and it is, if your inner voice had a message to the world, what would it say? It's a very basic question, but I'm trying to portray that.
Yeah, think of it. I think, I don't know if it would say anything, honestly. Yeah.
You didn't want to say anything?
Yeah, I don't think like there's just one thing to say, and
if I had to come up to you as a friend, or your mom, your sibling is coming up to me asking you for like for one thing, they want to get one advice just about life from you, what would you
about
say
life.
to them?
Don't worry about the small stuff, and try to think of the bigger picture. And that's what comes to my mind now.
Is that something you try to do in your daily life?
It's something I struggle with, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of like this,
perfectionism.
Yeah, analysis paralysis. And I think it's not a bad thing, but it has to be balanced, because
if it gets too much, sure, right?
It can really like some people I know wear it as badge, and I think it's a problem, I think, really, and it can really stop you from accomplishing things. Yeah,
if you it's like being, I mean, creating art and then being perfectionistic, it's like it's good because you probably create something amazing, or at least you think so, maybe. But also it can get into the way of not starting to do something, right?
So
yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm not saying like lower standards, like definitely have very high standards. Also, be realistic about it, like depending on your skills and stuff, and who are you working with. But then, like, just know for a fact that perfection is not, it's really, and even when you finish your work, and everybody loves it, there will be some parts that will stick out to you. Like, it's a real thing. And I think people just like start to get the idea of it, like the more they do it. I know from in the beginning, like I was just like, hey, I'm not happy with it, and again, I do something. No, it's not it, right?
I see.
But then you like talk to other people, and I just watch a lot of interviews with artists, and it's just a real thing. It's like it is, Yeah, you always have something you could have improved on.
Yeah, and I think this idea of improving doesn't necessarily mean it gets better. It just gets different,
Possibly.
Like it's the same with the lens. Like, yeah, I would probably be able to buy something else, but right now that's what I have, and it might be better in some way, but maybe this is better in this way, like.
Yeah. And
it's a balance, probably, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also mindset, like it's also mindset which a lot of startups use, like we gotta do it with what we have,
Yeah.
And okay, if something needs to be done, like just get it now and do it, you know.
See how
and
it
then
works.
you put yourself out there, you get more connections, you grow your skills. And if you don't do that, like if you stick that I gotta have the perfect studio, and perfect mixing engineer and all the greatest session decks in the world, and then I can make like great art. Sure, the product will be really high, but don't think that you cannot make great art with the limited tools you have. And that limit, we have spoken, like people have spoken about a lot, like how you can use limitations to enhance the product. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, man. Thanks a lot. It was great talking to you. You too. Let's take some pictures. Sure.